Look at her frown, what's on upon me. Look at her face, look at her skin. It's either too dark or it's too light. Her complexion's not right, but it's all upon me. Who are you to say that I'm not beautiful? It's your own insecurity, because I know and I believe my black is beautiful, beautiful. My black is beautiful, my black is beautiful, beautiful. Look at her size, look at her weight. She is too curvy, she is too slim, or even too thin. But it's all upon me. Hear how she talks, what does she mean? She has an accent I don't understand, I can't comprehend. But it's all upon me. Who are you to say that I'm not beautiful? It's your own insecurity, because I know and I believe my black is beautiful, beautiful. My black is beautiful, my black is beautiful, beautiful. My black is beautiful, beautiful, so beautiful. My black is beautiful, beautiful. In life, there's one thing you should remember: that love of self is more precious than anything else. Precious than anything else. In life, there's one thing you should remember: that love of self is more precious than anything else. Precious than anything else. In life, there's one thing you should remember: my cheeks, my eyes, my nose, think about my precious than anything. My skin, my size, my hips, my fro. There's one thing you should remember: that love of self is more precious than anything else. So precious, beautiful, so beautiful. My black is beautiful, beautiful.
Hello, everyone. Please like, tag, and share. Yes, yes. Beautiful. Oh. Yes. Yeah. Yes, yes, yes. Hello, everybody. Let me get this adjusted. Give me just a second. Let's get this adjusted here. Hello, hello, hello. So glad you're joining me today. I want to make sure that you can see me and hear me. Okay. All right, let me close this other curtain. Okay, hello everybody. Get a little light going on here. It's not too bright. All right. So I just want to jump on and talk to you about our natural hair. Yes, yes, and yes. So let me get myself situated here. All right, so if you saw the title is My Black Hair, or My Natural Hair is Beautiful. And yes, it is. Our natural hair is beautiful. So, we're celebrating the month of Black History. And I just, I was in here with one of my students, and I just began to show her the history of our cultural, and we just want to make sure we don't lose that, and that we pour into our young people and they know the history of those who have gone on before us. Well, I begin to think about my natural hair, and I begin to think about all of the women before us with their natural hair, and the things and the different eras that we have went through dealing with our own hair. And even in the 20th century, we've had a lot of backlash of us wearing our hair, wanting to own the hair that we were born with, all right? We wasn't born with straight hair, slick hair, or whatever the case may be, but we were born with kinky, curly hair. That is who we are, and that is what's on our head. And so we must own it. And so I just wanted to come on, and I know it's short notice, but you can go back and watch the replay, okay? So first of all, I want to say, do not be ashamed of your natural hair. I'm going to repeat that. Do not be ashamed of your natural hair, okay? There's nothing wrong with you rocking your natural hair, whether it's over your ear or under your ear, whether it's on the mid of your neck or on your shoulders or past your shoulders, okay? Whether you have really, really kinky, curly hair and it's like, oh my God, where's the length, okay? And nobody can tell that you really have long hair, but because the shrinkage is real, okay? It's all right to rock your natural hair, and you are beautiful. Each of us have our own texture of hair. Okay, some is more kinky than others, some is more curly than others, some is more coarse than others, okay? And so you have to learn how to own your hair. It's your hair. It is your hair, so you own it. Don't be ashamed of your hair. So back in 2010, I did the big chop. Well, why did I do the big chop? And I had a lot of hair. It was past my shoulders. Well, I did the big chop because I really never, ever, ever liked straight hair. It was something about it. I loved my natural hair. I love big hair. And even in middle school, they called me big hair. It was so funny. But I didn't like perms. And so in my late 30s, I realized, you know what? I don't like perms. And so I didn't perm my hair for probably a year. And then what I did is, as I was preparing to go natural, I kind of had this moment of, what is that going to look like? What is my hair going to look like? And so I went and did something. I went and got a curl. And I didn't get a curl because I wanted it all juicy and running everywhere. But it was like, I knew curls would grow your hair fast. And I'm like, it would have kind of gave me that bushy, wavy, curly look, that we see in the books. Those who are a white and a black may come together and their child has this really defined curly hair or whatever. And I was trying to get that. Well, I just messed that all up because there was still some perm on the ends of my hair, even though I hadn't permed my hair in almost a year. So it was this stringy like hair. So I was like, okay, whatever. This not working. So what I did, now, if you ain't ready, don't do what I did. But I was ready. So I went home one day, and I remember my mom and my grandmother, they was like, well, we'll be right back. We're going to go to the store. I was like, okay. But I already knew what I was going to do. I was like, good, everybody gone. So I went in the bathroom. I combed out my hair. Just combed it everywhere. It was all over my head. And I was like, once I do this, I will not go back, right? I took the scissors. I pulled my hair up in the middle of my head. And I said, shoo. I just cut off my hair from the middle of my head. Hey, sister. And from there, I couldn't go back, right? So I just cut all my hair off. Now, I didn't know how to form it or anything, but I knew that I didn't want permed hair. Okay, so then I go over to Walmart and they just had me this lopsided afro. So then I went to my sister who was a beautician. I finally got the hair to her and she cut it down even the more. So my hair was like this short. And I had to learn how to be used to having hair down my back, but it was straight, okay, to having about this much hair. And it did something to me, y'all. In the beginning, I got some notes, but apparently I'm going here first. In the beginning, it affected me, my self-esteem, because I don't have this hair that's covering my face and, but I'm seeing me, okay? I'm seeing me. I didn't have enough hair to do nothing else with. At that time, I did not think about wigs, okay? I wasn't a wig person, because in my mind, you wore wigs. That was old fogey type stuff, so I wasn't trying to put on no wig. And I can tell you, the first year of me cutting my hair, I went through transformation. In the beginning, it was negative. I was looking in the mirror and, I didn't like what I saw. I was like, oh, you like a boy. You look like, just different things. And I tell you, as I continued to rock my natural, as I continued to wear it, I got to where it got so good for me. Let me tell you, it got so good for me that I was able to wear my short hair. And I was like, oh, I'm cute. All I would do, I didn't have to put on a pile of makeup and be all dressed up, but t-shirt, sweats, and some lip gloss. And I thought I was the bomb.com. You hear me? Because I began to own my natural beauty. And I think as women, we do not own our natural beauty. We think that we have to put on all this fake stuff to feel good about ourselves. Well, that means you are insecure. Okay, that means you don't love you to the full, because if you cannot just be your natural self, I love makeup. Okay, I love me some makeup, and in this season, I've learned about protective styles, and especially with pandemic, I learned about them wigs, baby. I done found me some wigs. I'll be like, oh yes, I'm loving it, but I'm able to wear my hair and still feel just as beautiful. That's what I want to say. Our hair is beautiful in the natural state that it's in. Now, if you choose to perm your hair, that's what you choose to do. I'm not going to beat you up about perming your hair. But my thing is, love yourself enough to see what it's like to rock your own hair. How does that feel? How do you feel about you when you wear your hair? Okay? I know we wearing everybody's hair. We wearing everybody else's eyelashes. We wearing everybody else's fingernails. When you take off all of that stuff, let me rephrase that. When you have on all of that stuff, you feel like, oh my God, baby, I'm it. Can't nobody tell me nothing with this sew in. I got my nails done. I got my lashes on. You can't tell me nothing. I ain't bum. So my question to you is, when you take off all that stuff, all of the artificial, and when you look in the mirror, how do you feel about you? Oh, I know that's a deep question. And I meant for it to be deep, because my thing is, it's time out looking like somebody else, living up to somebody else's, to their standard, when you cannot feel good in your natural self. And so during this pandemic, doors have opened. I'm on TV shows and interviews left and right. And being in the house, I got comfortable. And anybody that know me know I've always rocked my natural hair. But I find myself lazy and comfortable, because I found some wigs that's just cute to me. I'm like, oh, baby, it looks like, oh, this me. But reality, I love my natural hair. And so today, this is me, y'all. I can't tell y'all about other times if it was me or not. But this is me, okay? This is my natural hair, and I love my natural hair. I'm not ashamed of it. And I'd rather have it, like, it's a little bit more straight. I didn't put any heat in it, but I really like it more kinky, okay? So I want you to do a self-examination as a Black woman, okay? I'm talking to the Black women. It's Black History Month. I'm talking to my Black sisters, that a lot of us have suffered with low self-esteem because of what was spoken over us from other nationalities and even in our bloodline. A lot of us hadn't even been able to get jobs because if we didn't put on that wig or we didn't straighten out our hair, they were not going to hire us. But we're in a time and a season that we have a voice. We have a voice, and we have to be the voice, not only for ourselves, but we have to be the voice for those young girls that's growing up who don't want perms, who just want to be natural. We want to be a voice so they don't lose their identity, that they're not suffering in silence. Okay? So we as women have to find ourselves. And we have to own who we are. We got to own our brown skin, our bright skin, our dark skin. We got to own our kinky curly hair, okay? Because it's yours. It's yours. God didn't make a mistake. This is the texture of our hair. This is the color of our skin. You were born black and you're going to die black. I don't care how much bleach you use. I don't care how much perm you put in your hair. I don't care about how much money you spend on sew ends. You gonna die with that natural nappy hair. Hello, because you was born with it. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. It's time out. If you want to wear your wig, listen, I've been wearing my wig, honey. I feel cute in my wig. When I take it off, I feel cute without it. It was a process. It was a process. And when you process, oh my God, you're so free. You're so liberated. And so I just wanted to come on here and share with you. I do have some notes I'm going to go over. Please share. Share with your sisters. Share with the young girls that you know. Teenagers, preteens. And like I started this with, don't be shamed by your natural hair, okay? And so I'm going to throw out a couple of things that I did some research on, okay? So what I found, and these are short notes, but it says in 1444, the Europeans trade on the west coast of Africa. Back in the 1444, they were wearing their elaborate hairstyles, including locks and plaits and twists. So we didn't just start this era of, oh, I'm going to wear my dreads. I'm going to wear my twists. I'm going to wear my plaits. I mean, back in the day, I remember we had plaits. Our grandmother and them, they wore plaits, okay? Twist. We had elaborate, beautiful styles that we did with our hair because our hair texture, we can do so much with. Our hair texture is so unique. Nobody else's hair can do what our hair do, okay? All right? We are blessed. So then it talked about in 1619 that about the slaves in Jamestown. And they talked about how the traditions of our hair and the grooming of our hair, how it began to disappear, okay? How they began to come against how we would wear our hair and how our hair texture and everything was. Really, they became offended, okay? They were offended because of the elaborate hairstyles and what all our hair could do, okay? Then it talked about in the 1700s, you know, they call our hair wool, pulling on the hair and just making us feel ashamed that we have the hair texture that we have, okay? What else? Yeah, so they elaborated on our African hairstyles, and they didn't have any control over it, so they began to, again, want to control us. So then we talk about, you know, I think about how we were wearing our hair, and then they started making it where we need to have straight hair, okay? So then, you know, that's when the hot comb came out, okay? In the 1800s. The hot comb came out in the 1800s. Yes, that's not where I want to go yet. Hold on, let's go back up. So in the 1800s, they began to remove products and things that we needed, okay? Because it's like, they ain't getting nothing. Okay, so then that's when, you know, because we're very creative. We are a very creative people, and we're going to make it work, honey. Whatever it is we got, we're going to make it work, right? And so back then, the slaves, they began to use bacon grease. They began to use butter and kerosene as hair conditioners and cleansers. And I remember, let me tell y'all something. I couldn't believe it. It was clean grease. But I remember my grandmother using Crisco on my hair. I do. We was out of hair grease and using some Crisco on my hair, okay, while she was straightening it. So I do remember. And then, as we know, the lighter complected slaves, that those that were slaves, they was of like higher esteem, and they were auctioning at higher prices because of the color of their skin. And then if they was with master, they had a whole different texture of hair. And some of them looked like they were white, but they were black. So that in itself was pulling us down as a black people dealing with our own hair. But we learned how to take care of our hair back then. So in 1865, slavery began to end, but it talked about how the other nationalities, like the whites, they were pretty much against the styles that we wore with our hair. And then it talked about how us wearing our hair even today, it began to cause an issue in the schools, on the workplace, in the churches and social groups, business networking. If you want to wear your natural hair, it was shunned up on because if your hair wasn't straight. Okay, it had to be straight. It could be straight and curly, but it had to be straight. No kinky. Okay, no naps basically. So, like I said, in 1880, the straightening comb came. And the metal hot combs, it was invented basically in 1845 by the French. Then they sent it to the United States, and we began to use that heated comb that was really frying our hair out, literally killing our hair from the roots. Okay, and as we know, you could straighten it; it would be beautiful. It would last for a week or two, but as soon as it got wet, the natural form of our hair would come back. Okay, the kinky curly hair. So as we know, Madam C.J. Walker. Back in the 1900s, she came out with Hair Grower, remember? And there was another lady, I think, she also came out with her hair product. But Madam C.J. Walker, she had the wonderful Hair Grower. And it was like, it was contained with sulfur and to help treat dandruff and scalp, and help with scalp conditioning. As we know that Madam C.J. Walker, she was featured in the Guinness Book of Records as the first American female self-made millionaire. And so I just want to come on here and encourage you as women of color pertaining to your hair. I know what we have gone through even in this last few years with some of the children being kicked out of school because of their natural hair, because of them having twists in their hair, because of them having dreads. We had the young man even here in Houston was supposed to graduate. They allowed this young man to play sports all those years with his dreads, but when it came time for him to graduate, they wanted him to cut his dreads off or he couldn't graduate. We've had the women who, because they begin to wear their natural hair, have lost their jobs. We had the kindergartner, a couple of kindergartners kicked out of school because of their natural hair. So it's always been a fight. And so I used to wonder, like, why is that a fight that everybody else can wear their natural hair? They can go to school with purple hair, green hair, okay, punk rock style. But us wearing our natural hair is an intimidation, or it's frowned upon. And that's not right. If everybody else can wear their natural hair, we can too. And so what I want to say to you again, don't be ashamed of your hair. Own your natural hair. Own it. If you perm it, so be it. But do not perm your hair because you feel like it makes your esteem better because you got perm in your hair. Do not put that sew-in in or that wig on your head because you believe that makes you look better. I'm praying that you will own the skin that you're in, that you will embrace who you are as a black woman. Any woman that you would embrace, because we have other nationalities that wish they were another color. You have black women wish they were white and white women wish they was black. So in that, I will speak to all women. All women. Be free to be you. Be free to own the skin that you're in. Be free to own your language. Be free to own your pronunciation. Be free to own the sway in your movement. Be free to be you. Be free to be the woman that you were called to be. No longer be bound. And so what I will say to you today is own you. Own your uniqueness. Many of us as Black women, we have full lips, and some of us don't. I know some people that don't have full lips, but own your full lips. We have all different shapes of our nose. Some are wider than others. Some are pointed than others. Own your nose. Own your high cheekbones. Own the slants of your eyes. Own your hips. Just own who you are. Embrace you. Women, woman, Black woman, Caucasian woman, Korean woman, Hispanic woman, French woman. Own your beauty. Own it, because, we were fearfully and wonderfully made. And we get to say what we like about us and what we feel like we want to change. But everything about you is beautiful. Everything. And even many of us have given birth and we couldn't get rid of them stretch marks. That's beautiful too. Okay? So I just wanted to come on today and say own your natural Black hair, because it is a Black History Month. But I would dare not just come on and only speak to the Black woman, because all women matter. We all bring something to the table. We all bring change in our families. We're all strength in our families, right? And so just embrace your uniqueness, woman. And as a Black woman, embrace your natural hair and see how that feels, okay? So I will be back on again tomorrow talking about our natural hair. And just know I do have a natural hair book that's coming out. It should be out Friday. It's called I Was Born Natural and I'm Going to Stay Natural. And there's going to be some great information in there and testimonies about your natural hair. So share this broadcast, share this video with someone, especially with the younger people, so they can begin to embrace their hair. All right? Well, y'all have a awesome and wonderful day. Have a day of Thanksgiving. Have a day of testimony. Have a day of just being your awesome self. Until tomorrow, I'll talk to you then. Thanks. Bye-bye. You know what? Hold on. Let me read. I don't like to come on here and not read what somebody has said and just say, hey. So I talked to my sister, Mari, and let's see what Miss Patricia said. She said, I had hair down my back as well. I did not go natural, but when I cut my hair, it was so freeing to me. I could no longer hide behind my... Yes, a lot of times we do that. We hide behind the hair. I am not ready for natural hair yet. Too much work for me. My daughter's hair is natural, and it is some work. Yes, it is. Natural hair, it is some work. It's just like being vegan. But I wouldn't change it. I would not change having my natural hair. And I just love it. Like, I just love it. So I wouldn't change it. And it is a lot of work. Let's see. Who else is on here? Hey, bro. Hello, Larry. Thank you for joining. Good afternoon, Miss Pamela. Thank you for joining. Hey, cousin. Hey, Angela. All right, everybody. I'm signing off, but please share this. Share. All right, enjoy your day. Bye-bye.